Week 1 of college football was everything that we expected. We saw amazing games, spectacular performances, and a lot more defense, to be honest, than we were expecting. I want to start this all off with Carson Beck because his win over Notre Dame felt like more than just a win. It felt like a indicator of what he could be, that he could be a top NFL draft pick, that Miami could be a force in the ACC, be a CFP or national champion contender, because it was on the back of him. I mean, Cam Ward was the number 1 overall pick in the draft. The offense was great. We'll get to another Miami player that had another good performance, but it came down to Carson Beck. I mean, after all of that great play earlier in the game, this was still a tie game. Couple minutes left, chance to go down the field, kick the game-winning field goal. He leads the Hurricanes down the field for the game-winning field goal. I mean, his performance, navigating around the pocket, moving, evading pressure, finding guys downfield. He threw the ball deep over 15 yards. I want to say a dozen times in this game. He was attacking every single blade of grass on the football field. Very nice performances from his wide receivers. The run game was pretty good, but all came down to the shoulders of their quarterback, number 11. This type of win against that opponent, a team that refused to quit, they showed their culture. I mean, we can't ask for much better. This was the best performance of the weekend. Incredibly fun environment there in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium against Leonard Moore and that Notre Dame Fighting Irish, very stingy defense. The offense for Notre Dame obviously was under pressure all night from Ruben Payne, but that was all to do with Carson Beck. Number 2 on this list, let's go with Tommy C. Tommy Castellanos was the guy that everyone was talking about in the offseason. They don't have Nick Saban there to save them anymore. Well, they certainly didn't, Tommy Castellanos, because Tommy Castellanos put his team on his back, played well. He was efficient throwing the football. He ran the ball right down the throat of the Alabama Crimson Tide. He played really good in this football game. Obviously, Joe Campbell Stadium was on fire. 9 of 14 for 152. That's 11 yards an attempt. As efficient as you would like to see. Didn't turn the ball over. 78 yards rushing for a touchdown in that one. Knew exactly when to hand the ball off, which was for 33 times in this game. Was able to hand the ball off very well. Florida State ran it for 230 yards and 4 touchdowns, but it was on his back. They came up with that win. He's number 2 on this list. You beat Alabama, top 10 team. It's funny because we might be talking a lot less about Alabama soon if they keep losing games like this, but you got to go with Florida State. 13.5 at home underdog. He's got the talk. He backs it up. You got the talk. You call your shot. You back it up. You absolutely end up on lists like this, and we can expect a lot more from him. He's got some very big matchups later on in this season. Number 3, Julian Sayin for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He was asked to go out in his first career start and beat the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns and supposedly the number 1 defense. They still might have the number 1 defense, but Sayin made the right decisions. Didn't turn the ball over. Was accurate throwing the ball. I can't think of one throw on the day where he made the wrong decision. That ball shouldn't have been thrown. His best and biggest play of the day was the touchdown to Carnell Tate. That was a little bit underthrown. Still had the confidence to make that throw. Even the 4th down would-be conversion to Max Clare. Missed Jeremiyah Smith deep, but accurate ball to Max Clare, who just dropped it on Ohio State's first possession. Julian Sayin delivered the way you wanted him to. If you were rooting for the Buckeyes or against Texas, he was comfortable in the pocket, navigated well. It helped from his offensive line. They should be on this list as well. Didn't give up a sack against Anthony Hill, Colin Simmons, Trey Moore, that incredible Texas front 7. Julian Sayin looked like a guy that could lead Ohio State to back-to-back national titles, and he'll be back in 2026 as their starter. So this type of performance shows all of Buckeye Nation that he can replicate it. He can learn, improve, develop, learn, improve, develop, keep getting better, and the sky's the limit for what the Buckeyes can be. Because remember, Jeremiyah Smith next year, they've got Chris Henry Jr. coming in there. Julian Sayin plays like that and continues to get better and improve. The rest of the team is able to stay intact around him, stay healthy. I mean, the sky is the limit for a very dangerous Buckeye squad. Now, I talked about him with the first player I had on this list, but number 4. Ruben Bain Jr. was a menace all night for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I mean, this kid, first of all, had the game-ending sack on the very last play of the game. He was everywhere. That half sack with the tackle for loss in it. He had the interception that was crucial, them getting the ball back. It looked pretty dang athletic when he caught that ball trying to turn the corner. Number 4 was expected to be a first rounder this year. He might be cementing himself as a top 10 pick in the NFL draft if he continues to play like that. That's what everybody fears, right? Micah Parsons goes from Dallas to Green Bay. Those edge guys, those guys on the edge of the defense that are athletic, that are speed, that are powerful, that are physical. He also can stop the run. Ruben Bain Jr., have yourself a day. Get Miami their biggest win in like a decade for the Hurricanes. Incredible performance. Now, we're going to go into some matchups that were not in the top 10 in a run of some right here. After we do this next one, because this was a great performance, and this was in a matchup against the top 10 team, against number 4 in the country specifically, Harold Perkins. My gosh. Come back from your ACL injury and play a heck of a game. Harold Perkins is back. He sealed this game for LSU, putting pressure on Garrett Nussmeier, hitting him, Nussmeier, putting pressure on Cade Klubnik. Nussmeier's his own quarterback, but hitting Cade Klubnik, forcing that ball out at the end of the game. Holy cow, did Perkins look like his former self out there on the field, flying around, a sack, tackle for loss, and getting pressure, good in coverage. Him utilized in that star role looked like it was the perfect fit for him. He can mirror Cade Klubnik. He can be that quarterback spot. He can drop back into coverage, into the hook curl or to the curl flat, or have the responsibilities of just rushing the passer straight up. He can play all of that. There are few to none players like Harold Perkins and the athletic traits he possesses. That performance against the Clemson Tigers, got to give a little bit of credit, obviously, to Whit Weeks. He was all over the field, only showed up twice as far as the stat sheet goes, but he was harassing Klubnik all night, laying hits right at the end of plays, showing his presence, firing up the LSU team as a whole. And, of course, Garrett Nussmeier, who I accidentally mentioned there, he played very well, did not make the mistake. Sometimes it's just not beating yourself and not making the bad play, which can be the best play. Garrett Nussmeier played great, but Harold Perkins is back. What a heck of a return to college football. They knock off Clemson and absolutely are a contender in the SEC, firmly positioned nicely in the top 10 of these rankings, and I think they are here to stay. After this, let's keep it on the defensive side of the ball because Dylan Stewart. There's a lot of hype from Dylan Stewart entering his first year at South Carolina, and he played great. There's a lot of hype entering Dylan Stewart in his second year for South Carolina, and boy, oh boy, did he play good in his first outing of the 2025 year. He was everywhere harassing Kyron Drones throughout the first half of this game. South Carolina wins 24-11, but Dylan Stewart, right, he had the sack, had a tackle for loss, was impacting plays, but he had half a dozen pressures. It seemed like he was everywhere. A little bit of a scare at the end of the first half. Very concerned, right? The shoulder ended up being a little bit of a stinger that he was able to walk off. Put whatever type of dirt you use on it to look like you're hurt badly and to just play like that in the second half. Reminds you of Micah Parsons, who was playing with one arm against Boise State. Dylan Stewart putting on a dominant performance against Virginia Tech. Expect a lot more of that. He's still a sophomore. How many of these guys that we are talking about are underclassmen players that had great performances? And, of course, his quarterback, Lenore Sellers, looked very good. Looked like he could be a top NFL draft pick, right there firmly in the Heisman race. But Dylan Stewart was absolutely the player of that game, in my opinion. Let's go to some quarterback play once again. Let's talk about John Mateer from Oklahoma, his first outing. A lot of people are starting to buy John Mateer Heisman stock. 3 touchdowns, 392 yards, and he's got a big one this week against Michigan. He continues to play like the way he did last week. He could beat the Michigan Wolverines, and Oklahoma has a shot at the CFP. They got the toughest, if not the toughest schedule, they've got the second toughest schedule behind Florida this year with a run of 7 games. That's absurd in who Oklahoma has to play. But week 2 against Michigan, I mean, firmly put yourself. You could easily be back here on this list of the best players in week 1 in college football, but athletic ability on display, very nice looking in the pocket. That O-line looked good. The offense looked much improved, finding open wide receivers, getting the ball out on time. John Mateer will show a little bit more of his wheels against Michigan. You can just about guarantee that, but he played spectacular. Let's go to a running back, because this will be the only running back on this list. Not a whole lot of special running back play this week. There's no Jadarian Price or Jeremiyah Love on it. There's no Singleton or Katron Allen. Justice Haynes from the Michigan Wolverines. 160 yards, 3 touchdowns, 16 yards, 16 carries on this game. That's 10 yards a carry. Holy cow, what an introduction. You're like, oh, what will that run game be without Kalel Mullings and Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards? Well, that's pretty good with Justice Haynes. He gives Michigan that identity that he'll give Bryce Underwood the perfect balance, the perfect blend of comfortability that you can hand the ball off to me, man. I'm going to go get you a heck of a lot of yards. I know Mateer obviously not playing great competition, Michigan not playing a good team in New Mexico, but you go off for that and you have the confidence from your quarterback and your head coach that the run game can still be super good. That is the exact type of top 10 performance that has people a little bit nervous, because Michigan, and they have a run game again, and they have that just nuclear weapon at quarterback that is Bryce Underwood. Look out for Justice Haynes this year. The last guy on this list, Rocco Beck, another matchup, right? South Dakota. No one's going to give you your flowers. But after beating Kansas State, you put together this matchup playing that well. 19 of 20. 19 of 20. 278, 3 touchdowns from Rocco Beck. Him, Sellers, probably Garrett Nussmeier, Carson Beck, or John Mateer, all rounding out sort of that top 5-6 guys in the Heisman rankings right now. Rocco Beck a little bit further down. People will start to notice him when they get into some bigger matchups, but Rocco Beck looks spectacular, accurate, athletic kid. Looks like he fully understands that offense, operating it well, on time, in rhythm. He looked untouchable and only missed 1 throw on the day. So I appreciate you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, who did I leave out of this list? It's so tough to make a list when you see 3 top 10 matchups, when you see 4 top 10 teams go down. We could have came up with a list of 60 players in this game, so to come up with only 10 is quite difficult. But Rocco Beck, no Higgins, no Knoll, loses his wide receivers, and it's like he hasn't missed a beat to start the year. So I appreciate you. Let me know who I missed on this list, who you agree with, and make sure to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.